היום 7 יום שהם 6 שבועות ו6 ימים.
Shabbat Shalom. You know what I really like about what we were just doing, Sirat HaOmer? Sirat HaOmer, what do? We all stood up and we were counted, right? We counted. Standing up and being counted is really important. And every day you guys come in to stand up for Schefter and stand up for yourself. And that's something that's really important here, that we are standing up as a community all the time. And we're counted as part of our community. And this is especially true as we've been celebrating these Dorot Shabbatot, these special generational, intergenerational Shabbatot. And it's really wonderful to be able to celebrate with all of you. We're going to start this morning as we like to do. We were hearing the wonderful aria notes, but now we all have to sing a little bit to get our vocal cords warmed up. Okay, stretching our vocal cords a little bit. I think I can do some frogs in the room. I think it's time to stretch our knees and our legs a little bit. A little big bob. But remember, big bob is more than just about the hay. It's more than the song. So let's sing the whole song out. Bim bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, chitty bitty bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Ready? Shabbat, 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 you're going to have to stop calling your guy. You're going to be the lily frogs. Okay. Maya Fet Hayo Shabbat Shalom 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 Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom.
And happy birthday, Shabbos.
Everyone. So every time we have a Dorot sponsor, I'm going to stand here and say hello and welcome them. But before I welcome our sponsor today, I need to tell you all, everybody watching at home, and everybody here, that our gala registration link is open. Now, students, you need to know that every class that has 100% participation is going to get a pizza and ice cream party at the end of the year. So you need to go home and tell your parents that they need to register for the gala so you can get a pizza and ice cream party. Everybody needs to come to the gala. Okay, yes. You're gonna ask me after. So, anyone that, as you're listening, if you need a babysitter, email me or call me. We have 11th graders that will help babysit. So there will be no excuses not to attend. We need everybody to support the Schechter School. You need to show up for Schechter. That is our motto this year, show up for Schechter. That being said, I would like to welcome Rena and Auntie Goodman back. As Mrs. Goodman started off as a teacher and a parent, and they were parents here. And now they're grandparents. So welcome back. They are our sponsors today. Thank you very much for joining us. This is something that we just started doing and having Door Road sponsors, generation sponsors for Kabbalat Shabbat to make it a little bit more special. We have a small gift for you, a bag with challah and Shabbos candles, grape juice because I was told I can't give out wine, and then a prayer over the family so you can have Shabbat in your home tonight. So thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to register for Gala. Show up for Shenya. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, God, I think you have to get us started. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Parshat and more. This week's Parsha, it's got a lot of good stuff in it. But I wanted to talk about one verse that I really like. It's one of my favorite verses in the Parsha. It says, and I'll tell you first in Hebrew and then we'll talk about what it means. Lo tichalalu et shem kodshi. Don't profane my holy name. This is what God is saying to the people. We'll talk about what that means in a second. Don't profane my holy name. V'nikdashti b'tov b'nei Yisrael, and I will be holy in the midst of b'nei Yisrael. So God says to the people, don't profane my name. Profane is a hard word, but it means like don't say anything bad about my name. Don't make me look bad. Don't reflect badly on me and my name. That's what God says. And then God goes on to say, and I will be holy in the midst of all the people. Which is kind of a weird thing to say because God is holy, right? Why is God saying to the people, if you do this or you don't do that, then I will be holy. So what does this all mean? So the rabbis in the Talmud explain that what this means is that we can either reflect well on God and the Jewish people, or we can reflect badly on God and the Jewish people. What we do can make God and Judaism look good to the rest of the world. That's called a Kiddush Hashem, when it's like we're making God's name holy. Or what we do can reflect badly on God and on the Jewish people. And the rabbis in the Talmud said, this is one of the most important things that we as Jews have to remember. That if we do something, if we do a mitzvah, if we treat people well, then that will reflect well on God. But if we don't follow God's mitzvot, if we act badly, then that's not going to reflect well on God. So I'm wondering if you guys can maybe give me an example. I'll share a story before we get to that. So when I was a teenager, I went on a trip. Some of you might have older brothers or sisters or cousins that went on like a summer trip with like a Jewish youth group, right? Or maybe with Ramah or something like that, right? To Israel or to other places. I went on a trip. Yeah, you do? You know somebody who went on a summer trip that was Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah? So I went on a trip with USY, with the synagogue youth group, and we went all over the United States, and we traveled to a lot of different places that a lot of us had never been before. And our madrichim, our counselors, said something to us that I still remember. They said to us, we expect all of you teenagers to be respectful and to be polite to people and to reflect well on our group everywhere we go. We expect you to do this everywhere we go. But they said to us, of course it's important to do that and to set a good example when we're in New York or New Jersey or Connecticut, a place where there are a lot of Jewish people. But they said to us, it's even more important to do that, to set a good example, to be polite and respectful when we go to a place where there are not a lot of Jewish people. There are a lot of states in the U.S. where there are not a lot of Jewish people. And our madrichim, our counselor, said to us, people are going to know that we're Jewish. The boys were wearing kippot. A lot of us had a chai or a Jewish star. A lot of us had shirts that said something like Schechter or Ramah, or it had Hebrew on it, right? People were going to know we were Jewish. And our madrichim said to us, it's even more important if we go into a place where there are not a lot of Jewish people, for you to set a good example. So I'm wondering if you guys can give me an example. What's one thing that we could do in our daily lives, one thing that you guys could do that's going to reflect well on Hashem, on God, and on the Jewish people, especially if people know that you're Jewish? What's something you could do that would be a positive reflection?
Like, you can talk to other people and they'll have to do that, and they'll do that, and it will reflect you.
Beautiful, right? You can be kind. I love that. that, God will see that, and other people will see that too. And it's gonna, I love the way you put that, it's gonna reflect all around the world. Beautiful, yes, with the blue kippah. Good, beautiful. Give money, give things that you may not need to the poor. Beautiful. Respect people who have disabilities. Mitsuyan. All right, how about from Pizza Hey in the back, Giddy?
You can offer to help out and grab a seat and see what needs to get done.
Offer to, right, and to help out and do what needs to get done. Good, in the wider community, right? Whether you're with Jewish people or with not Jewish people, right? You can be one of the people that steps up to get things done. Good, Josh?
Simple stuff like holding the door open, saying please, thank you, you're welcome.
Very nice. I love that. Not even just what we might think of as the big things, right? Like giving tzedakah, right? But even some of the little things, like how we interact with people on a day-to-day basis to show that we are polite and respectful. Good. We'll take one or two more. Beautiful. To help elderly people, right? Good. Go out of your way to maybe help people that might need a little bit of extra help. Excellent. Okay, and the basketball shirt?
Don't laugh when people get hurt.
Good. That's important. Don't laugh when people get hurt, right? Even sometimes we might have an urge to do something like that, but you kind of remember not to do that. Good. Keep Shabbat. Excellent. Right? Keep Shabbat, and then you can be a good dugma. You can be an example to other people, right? Show other Jews that it's important to keep Shabbat, and even people that are not Jewish maybe will understand and respect why we keep Shabbat. Excellent. Give tzedakah. Yes, absolutely. Give tzedakah. Right? Do what we can to make the world a better place. All right, I know I see a lot of hands. Let's maybe take one more. Very nice. You could say nice, kind stuff to people. Exactly. Like what? Give me an example. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, right? When you're walking down the street, when you see somebody else maybe, right, going into CVS or coming out of the supermarket, right? Not just to walk by them and ignore them, but to share a friendly word, right? Say good morning or good evening, right? The way that we act to other people and the way that we present ourselves to the world, if we do it right, it's a Kiddush Hashem. It helps make God's name holy, right? God doesn't need us to be holy, but God needs us to help show the world that God is holy. And that's a powerful thing that we can do. That's the way that we help God always be holy in the midst of the Jewish people and in the midst of the whole community, all the people of the world. So I want to wish you guys a Shabbat Shalom. And I know that you guys, all of our beautiful, wonderful Schechter students, are very good at always doing a Kiddush Hashem, always representing Schechter and your families and the Jewish community beautifully to the world. So as we go into Shabbat, I want to remind you to always be a good dugma, always be a good example, and always show the world how proud you are to be yourselves and to be Jewish. Shabbat Shalom.
So at Schechter, where we do indeed have many, many wonderful people, what is good people? There are so many Anashim Tovim, so many of you who are so good at doing exactly what Rabbi Rosenthal said, being a dugma, being an example for others. And today you recognize someone who I know is not an example just today, but will for sure in the future, wherever life will take her, whatever she's going to do, she's going to make all of us very proud and indeed make Hashem more holy. And that is Lily Mishka. So Lily's Hebrew name is
Miriam, and she really is she is watching, she is looking, she is protecting, she is helpful, she's doing all the things that we hope all of you are doing. Please, if you have been recognized as a mensch, come on up and join Miriam. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much to our Kabbalat sponsors, Saba Vesavta, to Matt Left. Shabbat Shalom.